Hello everyone, my name is Tracy and right now I'm in my bedroom and I've just been doing some writing in my journal, and this is a special notebook I have and I write in it most days, sometimes in the morning or in the evenings or just when I get some spare time in between my work, and I love it. And I've been having a journal definitely since I was 12 or 13, and all through my life I've written, and it's a space for me to think about how I'm feeling or work things out that are in my head and I can't quite work out in my head. So by writing it out, it really helps me to understand things a little bit better. And actually, even before I was 12, when I was young, 7 or 8, I used to have a little notebook that I used to call my diary, and I would write maybe just a couple of lines in there some days when I wanted to. And so I've been talking with my friends at Carnegie House in Bridgend, and we've come up with a plan to make a very special book filled with children's and young people's writing, and writing really about this time that we're all alive. It's very strange and unusual and new for so many of us. We're at home, we're not at school, we're not seeing our friends, and maybe we're not even seeing our family. And I would really, really, really love to hear how you feel about all of that. And I'm sure there are lots of other adults who would also really like to hear that. So what we're going to do is every week we're going to have a different writing project. So this week we're going to do some letter writing, and then we'll do stories and poems and other kinds of writing each week. So I'll put up a video every week and just explain what we're doing, maybe give some tips about how you could start if you're a little bit unsure. And then I'm going to ask you to send in your pieces of writing through the Facebook page on Carnegie House, and I'll read them all, and then we'll collect them all up, and at the end then we'll make them into a kind of a book and share that with you online. So our first week is going to be letters, and I thought rather than me just explaining straight away maybe even how to write a letter, some of you probably know already, I've asked 2 of my young friends to help me out, and they've written a letter each, so I'm going to share some of those with you now. So the first one's from Maya, and then the second one is from
So we'll
Laura.
start off with a poem from Maya, and it's a really brilliant description of how she's seeing the virus and this time that we live in. It's called The Virus. The virus, they say, if you don't take care, you could catch it. The virus spreads from state to state, town to town. It's making haste between the houses, lots to show around the graveyards, row on row. Schools are closing, pools are shut. Cinema films didn't make the cut. Because of the virus, it gets worse. Oh me, oh my, we go on full lockdown. What to do, we cry, we wash our hands, put on hand sanitizer, be wary of what we touch. We couldn't be any wiser. So, in less than half a year and less than a week, the newspaper shouts and the headlines shriek, the outbreak ends. Must have been my lucky clover. It's past. Coronavirus is over. Dear friend, we are in a very strange time. Schools are closed. Some mums and dads are home from work. We can't go to see our family or friends. Something like this has never happened before. I wish that things would just go back to the way they were, instead of worrying. How about we think about the good times? This is what I've been doing to keep happy and healthy. Played on the trampoline with my brother in the garden. Cooked pizza with mum, painted a rainbow to put in the window, chatted to my family on FaceTime, schoolwork to make sure I don't fall behind, made a treasure chest out of an egg carton, planted some flowers outside, played with my friends on FaceTime, watched films with my family. How are you coping? Here are some ideas of what you could do. Count birds in your garden. Watch a film, read a book, write a poem, phone a friend and keep in touch. Hope you're doing okay. From Lauren.
And thanks so much to Lauren and Maya for taking the time to write a letter and also share what they're thinking about and what they're feeling right now. And I hope with some of these letters we're going to be able to share them with some older people in care homes who are a little bit more isolated now because they can't have visitors. So I'm sure they will love to read some of these letters. So I just want to finish off the video just talking about what you might want to put in your letter. I think if everybody could write "Dear Friend" to start with, then that's great because it's kind of for everybody to read, and so we'll be able to share them with adults who can read them. We don't need to know their name. You might want to start off saying a little bit about yourself, what age you are, or a bit about your family, how many brothers and sisters or pets you have, or anything that feels important to say about yourself, because whoever's reading this doesn't know you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. And then really, I suppose, I think what I would like to hear about is what's it like every day? You know, what kind of things are you doing each day, and what are you thinking about, and what have been the really exciting things about this new way of living where we're all at home together? What has been really great? I know for us, me and my boys all love the fact that we don't have to get up early to go to school. That's definitely the highlight. So what have your highlights been? And also, what have been the really hard bits? What have been the bits that have maybe made you feel sad, or if you've been feeling a bit frightened or a bit frustrated? I know certainly my oldest son feels really frustrated that he can't see his friends especially. So what have been the great things, and then what have been the things that have been a bit more challenging? So if you could have those three things in your letter: something about you, four things: something about what kind of things you're doing every day, something that you've really enjoyed, and something that you found a little bit more difficult, then I think that will make really, really brilliant letters. And remember, if you were just starting to do your writing, maybe if you're younger, maybe you're 4 or 5 or 6, you could also put some pictures in there. I mean, you could do that at any age, but you don't worry about having loads and loads of words. You could add some pictures to show the kinds of things you're doing every day. That would be really lovely too. And at the end, just add your first name, so you don't need to add your surname. And then take a picture of it, or ask your mums or dads to take a picture of it, and then I'd like you to send that picture to the Carnegie House Facebook page. You could put it under this thread if you want, or if you'd like it to come directly to us, then send it as a message to the Carnegie House inbox, please. I'm really looking forward to reading your letters, and I look forward to the next challenge next week. Bye.